So here's the problem. The DVSA are evolving what they see as compliance at a very fast pace. The authorised examiners and owners of businesses, whether independents or groups, are all by nature very busy people who perhaps don't have the time or inclination to be able to stay on top of every single evolution and certainly put it in place across their business. So the DVSA offer us a solution, and that is the modern day site manager. Okay, this is a role, a mandatory role. We must appoint a site manager at each VTS. The site manager, we need to train them. Once we train them, we need to be able to prove that we've trained them. Without proof of training, really there's little point in appointing them, okay? So what we have is we start to get a span of control. So we can see that by putting site managers in place at each VTS, we have a person suitably qualified and trained to look after the day-to-day testing activities of our business. Please don't confuse the MOT site manager with your general manager of your site. This is a specific role that we need to appoint someone to manage our MOT activities. If we get these guys right, then the rest of the span of control starts to work really, really well. So let's have a worst case scenario. It's Saturday afternoon. Our tester down here has had some pressure from a family member to do an MOT test on his brother-in-law's ropey old builder's tipper. Okay, he's passed that MOT on a Saturday afternoon. You're out playing golf, the boss, I don't know who you are, and he's passed that tipper. It's got bad brake lines, the tyres are all borderline, there are 100 things wrong with it. He hasn't even put any advisories on it. It's gone out the door. You don't know anything about it. It's now Tuesday morning. That tipper's left the builder's merchants, heavily overloaded. It's going down the dual carriageway. It's had a blowout on the front tyre, which had cords exposed anyway, and it's gone across the central reservation. And let's see, in our worst case scenario, imagine it's hit a minibus full of kids and one child has died, 3 are in hospital. Okay, that is a worst case scenario. We know that after the accident investigation, that guy's going to prison. But you're also legally responsible for the activity of your business. So who else are we looking at? We're looking at you. And how's the person whose son is dead feel about your business? Okay, you had control of this business, or you should have done, and you've lost control because you didn't know the activity of that tester. So I know that's an extreme example, but it's really important to drive home the importance of having good site managers, properly trained, who can control your business and the activities of your testing personnel, your MOT testers. So I think it's important when we think about our site managers to understand the hierarchy and the span of control. So let's just do a quick refresher on who's what. At the top of the pile, the authorised examiner. That is the legal entity or partnership or sole trader that is appointed by the ministry to carry out MOT testing on their behalf. It's a legal responsibility. You have to have beneath that your authorised examiner principal. In a independent business, that'll be the same person. In a limited company, that'll be an officer of the company. While we're talking about officers of the company and legal responsibility, that does not exclude you members of the board, okay? You are officers of this company. As members of the board, you equally have this legal responsibility. So that's the top of our pile. Beneath that, we have our authorised examiner delegated manager, mandatory role, must have one. And if we've got a big enough business, we'll have authorised examiner delegates beneath that. So we can have multiple delegates if we've got a great big business. Then we've got our VTSs, each site that is carrying out MOT testing, and we should have appointed our site managers, again a mandatory role. So we're starting to see this span of control. The bigger the business, the wider it will be. Okay, very important that we understand that legal responsibility. So who do we train to do this? Well, we've got to train our site managers. What I also think is important is that these guys here understand the role of a site manager. So this course is for site managers, it's also for these guys. If we've got regional managers or brand managers sat in the middle here, that's a BM, brand manager I'm calling him, it's good for that guy to sit this course as well, so that when he is managing all of the sites in his control, he understands the responsibility of the site managers. That way we start to get a proper span of control, a hierarchy, and we can demonstrate to the DVSA that we've got control of our business. That's really all this is about. Can we see a level of control? So the DVSA, as we said at the start, are giving us the ability to appoint these people so that they can control the day-to-day activities of testing at each site. Okay, so that's really the span or the hierarchy, and it's important that we keep that in the back of our minds. What we've done at MOT Juice is put together a fully online course to help you upskill these guys. For me, it's very important to allow our staff to learn holistically and learn on site. So our courses are all online, they're all in bite-sized pieces, and they can be conducted alongside the working day. I don't like sending staff off-site to sit in a classroom for 8 hours where they only absorb maybe 30% of the information that's available. So the course that we deliver helps you train and prove that you've trained the site managers, anybody else in our chain of command that needs to understand the role of those site managers. It's a vocational training course, it's video and application and learning outcomes, all that can be done on site whilst working. The course is structured to follow the DVSA guidance and follow their expectations of how and what knowledge and skills that site manager should have, and it allows you to work through it. I suggest that there are 16 modules in the course. 1 module a week is enough, and I would suggest that every site manager can do that without impacting on their workflow at all, which I really like. So it's a very cost-effective and very time-effective way to start to protect our business and our span of control. So we have a good idea of why we would appoint site managers. We know they need to be trained and we know we need to prove it. I want to just talk about the benefits of using this MOT Juice course to achieve that goal, okay? The big benefit for me is that we can keep our staff on site doing their day-to-day activity. We don't need to lose them off site. We're also working through the course and we're having active implementation. So as we work through the modules of the course, we can make sure that our VTS is up to standard, or whatever activity we're learning about that fits into that role, we can put it into action and record those actions. That will protect us against the DVSA. The course is online, so you can start now. If you've had a bad VE visit and you need to put something into place quickly, brilliant, call us, get going now. We can also use the course to train more people. For you guys in your big dealer groups, let's say you've got 50 VTSs and another 20 people in the management chain, I don't want you sending 70 people off site for 2 days each. What a waste of time and money when we could be doing it on site whilst we work without impacting our workflow. So if you need to get at this course, or when you're ready to start buying it, for existing customers, you can log into your own back office, buy as many editions of the course as you want and allocate them yourself. If you're not comfortable doing that, or you want some assistance doing that, then give the support guys a ring. They'll work out a training schedule for you, an implementation for you, and help you put that into action. If you're a new client, you could follow the guidance on this webpage below and buy as many editions of the course as you want for your team and put it into play yourself. What I would prefer is give our sales and support team a ring. They'll help you allocate the course to the people that you need it allocated to. They'll work on a training plan for you, and they'll be there to support you and talk to your individual people about why they're doing this course and why we think that it's important to protect the business as a whole. So there are multiple ways to get access to it. You don't need to do all of your business in one go. If you want to start off training maybe 3 people, once we've got them over the line, we might look at more people. The more people we've got upskilled, the merrier, okay? Yes, I am selling the course, but I'm really selling it to help you protect your business. So I think we've got a good understanding of the needs and the availability of the course. I'd like to thank you for taking time to watch this video. I hope it's been a bit informative, and I hope to see you in another video. Cheers now, take care.